Today is day 62 of the podcast, and I want to look today at temptation from another perspective. You know, if we regard temptation as an event of attraction, then we will begin to see that object of temptation as having a level of power. Sometimes less, sometimes more, combined with our abilities, which are sometimes less, sometimes more. And we're looking at this power of the object and our internal power as what it's going to take to defeat the temptation. We've tended to look at temptation as the objects themselves. In 1 John 2, it talks about the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, the boastful pride of life. But this temptation is working from a lust that's more the condition of our heart than it is the power of the object and the potency of that object that we're desiring. So let me read to you a minute from James 1, verses 13 and 14. It says, "Let no one say when he's tempted, I'm being tempted by God, for God cannot be tempted by evil, and he himself does not tempt anyone. But each one is tempted when he's carried away and enticed by his own lust." Now, when you read that, each one's tempted when they're carried away by their own lust, you can fit that into your own circumstances. And I went back through scripture fitting it together until I hit Eve. And how on earth could that make sense that Eve was carried away and enticed by her own lust? Because, you know, sin hasn't happened. The temptation came before that. So then I'm looking at what does that word mean, the word lust here. And it is a Greek word. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but it's epithumeo. And it means to have the affections directed toward anything, to desire, to long after. And so it depends on its object, how it's interpreted. Whether it's interpreted in the scriptures as desire, which is a positive thing. If we didn't have desire, we wouldn't be attracted towards anything outside of ourselves. Or lust, if it's aimed at an inappropriate object. So we have a capacity in our heart for strong desiring, and the enemy is going to do everything he can to trick that potent desire within off course. And he doesn't care if it's something evil or something apparently good, but it is who is directing the course of our desire and what's the state of our heart there. So here's today's question. Has your desire been preset on the Lord?